Hello, guys. Welcome back to Purple and Gold Talk. My name is Victor. Got Wyatt with me here. We're back at it with another game recap. But before we get into that, just want to let you guys know. Obviously, as you can probably tell, the setting is a little bit different. I'm currently in the hospital. I'm having some medical issues. That is why I'm currently here. But we're gonna push through it. Everything is good, no worries. But everything feels good after a Lakers win. But if you like game recaps like this, we're going to get into that and more stuff. Lakers, please make sure to subscribe and follow along with us in this journey, as well as like and comment. We want to talk and engage with you guys and know that you like the content. And follow us on all the social medias at Purple Gold Talk underscore. Let's get at it. Let's talk. But with all that housekeeping stuff aside, Wyatt, first home game of the season, first win of the season. What are your thoughts on the matchup against the Phoenix Suns?
Man, Vic, it wasn't pretty, but we got through. We got the dub. We came out on top. We got our first win of the season. So I'm happy about that. One thing that stuck out to me, overview of the game, the 28 to 11 fourth quarter run that we had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We
Yep.
won the game in the fourth. I
Definitely.
think we would have had a lot harder time if Booker and Beal were in. We would have had a lot harder
Definitely.
time. What happened was KD just couldn't close by himself in that
Yeah.
fourth quarter.
Yeah. And he had a
Good,
great game.
yeah, Goodwin and those role playing guys, they scored like I think it was like 10 or like less than 10 points
Yeah.
combined.
Goodwin had six. Their bench had six, one and one, which was Goodwin with six, Eubanks with one, and Watanabe with one. So only a total of 8 bench points from the Suns. Yeah.
Yeah. So they cooled down in the second half, the fourth quarter too, and
I'm
Katie,
sorry. That was
Kate.
field goals. I
Okay, okay.
apologize. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, they cooled
Only
off.
8 field goals.
They cooled off in the fourth, and KD just couldn't close by himself. I do
Yep.
gotta say, I was worried in the third quarter because we were down 12.
Yeah,
So we were down 12
definitely.
in the third quarter. I was really worried in my mind. I was like, are we really about to lose this game to the Suns without Booker and Beal? I was like, this looks
Right.
bad.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
definitely this game on paper, fully healthy, is not a game where you go, it has to be a easy win or a must win in the scenario or in the case that our talent is completely far above theirs. But on a night like this one specifically, where they only have one out of their top three, it is a you can't lose this game. You
yeah,
know,
these are the easy wins. These are the must wins.
these are the
These
exactly,
are the handled games that we can handle.
exactly.
That's one thing. It's the second game of the season, so I'm not really hitting the panic button. But one thing as a Lakers fan, I'm tired of these comeback wins.
Yeah, man.
Like, it feels like we're always coming back for a win. Why
Yeah,
can't we
man.
just have the game like handily run? We're up by 10, 15 points the whole game, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
we're just coasting to a win.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but looking at the schedule this season, the West is so deep. I don't think we're gonna have nights like that. I think this is gonna be a scrap this
Oh, it
season
is
in the West.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah. I think more nights, more often than not, it will be scrappy. It will be tough wins. It will be, you know, grind out wins that will be needed to be had. I
Hmm.
don't think on many nights against Western Conference teams we can take a breather and be like, yeah, let's cruise through this because like you said, the West is loaded. The West is obviously clearly the better conference out of the two, and we face the Western Conference teams more than any of the other Eastern Conference teams. So yeah, no, that's definitely a valid and fair point, and just a fact. That's just
Yeah.
facts.
Real talk. What were your bright spots from the game?
Uh, well, I'll tell you this. I'm coming straight for this. Uh, don't know what adjustments were made, what kind of conversations were had, or whatever. But pushing LeBron from 30 max to 35 clearly
He
made
played
a
the whole
difference.
fourth.
Yeah, played the entire fourth quarter. clearly made a difference. It was crystal clear, and he helped us seal the game. Obviously, he scored the Lakers' last 6 points in the fourth,
He closed out, and you
and
know
he
how they
closed
closed
out.
out? We talked about this on the last video, what they weren't doing in the Denver game.
Mm-hmm,
They still didn't do it very often this game, which is absolutely crazy.
mm-hmm.
But the Anthony Davis LeBron pick and roll, where
Yep.
they ran at the end of the game, I think there was like 40 seconds left, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
And
And that's what
he
got
got
us
the
that
lay.
last.
Yeah, he got
Yep.
the lay to kind of seal it.
That dagger.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
So I think that's definitely a highlight for me. Obviously, and not even as a LeBron James fan, but I just think I was telling you, it's like the Nuggets game. If you would have actually just let him play a little longer, I'm not saying it's guaranteed we won the game, but we would have had a much better fighting chance at it. And I just feel like due to the minutes restriction, we kind of almost kind of gifted it. But also, again, our guys should be able to push through that. But moving on, I'm just saying that I'm happy to have seen that adjustment time wise and to see him play the entire fourth, and he clearly can. And you know what's crazy? LeBron James did not have the most efficient night up to coming into the fourth quarter. I think he was like 4 for 11 at one point, at somewhere at the end of third or beginning of fourth. He was 4 for 11. Ended the game 50%, 7 for 14. So he really got right. So he only missed 2 free throws. So I'm happy about him. Plus minus was 22. Another highlight for me was, surprisingly, Gabe Vincent defensively, I think, was real solid. He made a lot of good plays. In my opinion, I mean, he had 3 steals, and I remember them all. He was just really playing really intense defense, putting his hands up where he didn't need to, where it just kind of poked the ball out and made his presence really felt on his man, and it led to turnovers, led to some steals. I think he was plus minus 13, so that's also great. He only had 7 points, although he did have some good drives to the basket,
man,
which I
hold
also
up.
really.
You want to talk about somebody's defense? Talk about Christian Wood's defense, yo. Him
Mm-hmm.
stepping up to guard KD
KD,
at
yep,
the end there, man.
yeah,
And
and I liked a
never
couple
would have
of.
guessed, never would have guessed Christian Wood on KD is what we would have been seeing.
And no, I liked a couple of decisions they made where when Cam was guarding KD, Christian Wood would come up on the corner and they would trap him. They would put 2 on him, and I really liked
Mhm.
that because he actually missed a couple of those shots because there was just so much length. But I was also telling you off camera after the game last night, I really liked that decision of Christian Wood coming out to the three when KD was out there because he was going to shoot the three. He's so long, put his hands
Mhm.
up, and I think just getting a hand in his face is good. And I think you're right. I think that was also a great decision defensively,
That's for
which
sure.
which I agree. Like, who would have thought? But hey, kudos to him for that one. And I think everybody just had to scrap, right? Like everybody just had to fight for this one. Torian Prince had the opposite of a night that he had on opening night.
The ghost touring Prince, he disappeared.
The ghost. He went from being the best to the worst.
Yeah.
um, not. I mean that jokingly,
Well,
but
to be honest, you look at the numbers, and we did not have a good shooting night. We
no, we did
shot
not.
17% from 3-point
Yep,
range.
yep. I was
Any
just
other
gonna.
any other team shoots 17% from 3-point range,
It's an L.
you're not winning an NBA
It's an
game.
L. 100
It's
percent.
very difficult to win an
100
NBA game shooting 17% from three nowadays.
100%. That was looking like the percentages we were putting up 2 years ago. Remember when the season started and that
Yeah,
we were historically bad.
yeah,
That's what that
LeBron James
percentage
was
was like.
1 for 5. We have D'Angelo Russell 1 for 7.
Yep.
Rui was 1 for 2, 0 for 2 Christian Wood, 0 for 3
Gabe
Cam
Vincent
Reddish.
was 0 for 5.
Yeah, Gabe was 0 for 5. So we
Yep.
just had a terrible, terrible shooting
Austin
night.
Reeves was 1 for 7, which again, this is kind of going into another point I
Oh
wanted
no,
to make.
he's 1 for 2, 1 for 2.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell.
yeah,
I was looking
yeah.
at D'Lo. My bad, my bad, my bad.
You good,
Um,
man?
but yeah, so I think 100% you shoot that on a regular night, you're going to lose the game. But that's just the kind of game it was. It wasn't pretty, but we had to really push through and fight out and fight through it to get the win. And there's gonna be, like you said, there's gonna be probably a healthy amount of those types of games this season. But in that, to counterbalance the point that you made, that if the Suns had their stars, then this game probably looks a lot different. Well, I would also make the argument that if they had their stars, but we actually were shooting the ball well, the game could also look a lot different. Meaning,
But
it
that
it
that
it
wasn't the
kind of
case.
it
That
kind of
wasn't the
even. No,
case.
it's
If they
not.
if they had if they had their stars, they would have been able to close in the fourth quarter and close on that 12 point lead that they had,
No, I'm just
and
saying,
we would
like,
have lost, to be honest.
I'm just
So
saying, if both things happen, if both they both didn't happen. I'm saying if both their players were healthy, and we also had the shooting night we expect to normally have, maybe that also becomes a more even matchup. Basically, saying that to say, I don't want to feel like we look at this game and we're worried playing them in the future. Basically, that's where I'm coming from. I think it's a learning experience, and we already agreed that this is one of our biggest threats in the West. But I think we're gonna get better as the season comes. It's the second game of the season. We're gonna play Denver and Phoenix again down the road, and I think later down the road, once we have that gel, because again, this is a new squad, we're gonna be able to match up with them and really learn how to play them better. Hopefully, right?
mhm.
But what about you? Do you have any highlights? Any more
I don't have
highlights?
any highlights. I got a frowny face.
All right, let's talk about some frowny faces. Let's talk
Oh,
about some frowny
I got a
faces.
frowny face looking at Rui, looking at Rui's minutes right
Yeah,
now, yo.
man. Yeah,
12,
man.
12 minutes?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Why would,
We talked about it. Yeah. You made a very clear and an
yeah,
important point
I was
on the
worried about it at the beginning of the season, but
right.
12 minutes,
It's
I
less than
get
last game.
I get not playing a little bit in the fourth because we made that adjustment where Christian Wood was defending KD and we were using him on the defensive end.
Right.
But he only played like 5 minutes in the first. Like
Yeah.
what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Rui's just not getting the minutes he needs. And like we were saying, this is without Jared Vanderbilt. What happens in a couple weeks when he enters the lineup?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
our prayers are out to Jared Vanderbilt. We hope he gets
Yes.
healthy really
Yes.
soon. It just was released
100%.
that he's out 2 weeks, or he'll be
Yes.
reevaluated
In
in
two
two
weeks.
weeks
Yep.
with a heel injury.
But if I'm being honest,
Um,
I'd rather have him be a little banged up now than when
oh
it's
yeah,
really
let
important.
him heal up. Like we said,
Yep.
we have so many forwards. We really
Exactly.
don't need another one right now. We're already talking
Exactly.
about our best
And he's an
forward
and
not
he's
getting
an
minutes.
and he's an offensive liability. So right now it's not like we're only missing the defensive things that he brings to the table, which I feel like for the time being we can muster up enough, or we should be able to muster up enough to put in enough work so that he's not missed. Where it's like, oh my gosh, like until he comes back, we can't win a game. We definitely have
Yeah,
enough. So that's the good part about that. But I want to mention something to you about Rui. I don't know if you saw, Darvin Ham made a statement to the media saying that they believe, him and the staff believes, that it would be a more efficient more efficient for Rui to come off the bench. AKA how I read it or how I received it and took that message is, the way we're playing him now is how we believe he'll be the most efficient. Thoughts on that?
we obviously saw different in the playoffs.
Mm,
Yeah,
Thank you.
where
Yes,
we was putting up numbers, and literally the reason we signed him because he went off in the playoffs and did what he did
exactly.
at
That's
the
why
end
we
of the
gave him the
season.
check.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like Darvin Ham's lineups in general.
Yep.
I've complained about his
Yep.
lineup
Yep. For the
since he's
people out
been
there,
there.
that do not know and are not aware, Wyatt is not a Darvin Ham fan, and he's been telling me this since last season. However, I have been playing devil's advocate to this. Kind of, I'm not. I was never trying to convince you he's the greatest coach ever, but I was just like, hey man, a little bit of patience. The squad, we had just so many other issues and injuries and this, that, and the third, but I'm with you now. Why I'm on the same page. It's do what you got to do or bust, or you're out. You're definitely out next season because now you have no excuse. You have a full squad from day one, a training camp. You have everything that you
Yeah,
could possibly have at your disposal to be successful. It's now time to make the tough decisions and, more importantly, the right decisions. And if that doesn't happen, get out. Get
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So,
that's what it takes to be an NBA coach, man. You decision
and more
making.
importantly, a
Who do
Laker,
you
man, a Laker coach.
managing your players? Managing your players is what NBA coaching is about.
Yeah, he does have a task. He
Man,
does have a tough task ahead of him with, like you've been highlighting frequently, the array of forwards that we have. I mean, gee, like it is a pretty sticky situation to be in. I mean, I don't know how you want to look. Do you look at it as a bad problem or a good problem?
I mean, I look at it as a good problem because we have so
Weapons,
many weapons and so many options.
right?
But Rui is definitely the best forward out of. He's definitely better than Taurean Prince, and he's definitely better than Christian Wood. So why is he playing
Mm.
less minutes than both of them?
Yeah, that is why I'm so intrigued in a not positive way by Darvin Ham's
And he
comments
can
on.
shoot. And he can
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah,
He's hit a three in both games.
yeah,
And he's pulling no hesitation.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's very
I'm
confident.
a big Rui supporter. He should be on the court like
No, I'm with
20
you.
plus minutes.
You know
Yeah.
I'm with you. You know I'm with you the whole
Yeah.
way on this one. Yeah, and I think that's what makes it super interesting, Darvin Ham's comments, because it's like, why do you feel like he's most efficient coming off the bench when you could replace Torian Prince's
No,
starting spot?
I get him coming off the bench. I
No,
mean,
but just
I get
just
that
hear me out
decision
on
because
this.
if Turian the Prince is the shooter that we think he is,
Just no, but
um,
just hear me out on this. Like, if you were to replace Torian Prince with Rui in the starting lineup for a little bit more physicality, since you still have your two bigs down low, and then you have AD, Braun, and Rui for strength, while also, like you mentioned, Rui can shoot. Then once you give him that breather, Torian comes off the bench, fresh legs, splashing because he's a great 3-point shooter. I don't know. I feel like that
yeah,
could really work.
I personally, I would bring Rui in when LeBron comes out the game in the first quarter
Mm,
and
mm.
do that type of deal.
I'm not mad at that.
Um, that's just like the logical thing to do. Um,
Yeah,
But I don't
I'm
know
not
why
mad
they
at that.
yeah, I don't know why they're not doing that. We'll see. It's the second game of the
We'll
season,
see.
so we'll
Yeah,
give him time to
exactly.
play around with his lineups, but I have very little faith in Darvin Ham
I'll put it to
um
you this way.
to get this lineup thing together.
I'll put it to you this way. Due to the fact that we clearly have realized we have a problem, as you stated, a good problem to have with all these forwards and, just the new roster in general. Um, I'm gonna put personally. This is just for me personally. I'm gonna put a max cap on it of, at the absolute most, month and a half. If by a month and a half into the season you don't got this rotation figured out, I'm worried.
We're hiring Doc Rivers. No, I'm
I'm
just
I'm
playing.
I'm, I'm worried. No, I'm just saying, if by a month and a half and you really haven't figured out the rotation, I will start getting worried. But right now, I'm gonna give him that space to tweak, play around, think about it, give different options, etc., etc. Also, waiting for Vando to come back in and see what that looks like. All these kinds of factors right now at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to be too harsh on him because it's a lot of weapons. So, okay, cool. But a month and a half from now, if if it at least it's not an improvement or full out figured out, I will be there's some flags going up. I'm concerned personally.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
how,
that. Same here. Same
yeah.
here.
So, um, man, and on the other side of things, I think we did the best we could containing KD, considering he was their biggest problem. Obviously, he dropped 39 points past the dream tonight, or the night of the game. And I think in the fourth quarter, we played him really well because he dried up. And if you look back at the game, at the end of the third, he went crazy. He put them up by 12 with this dagger with a second left from three, where we were right in his face. But it's just one of those shots where KD's just gonna hit because he's a beast. And at that point in the game, I was worried. I was like, man, like KD really by himself gonna take us through? Like that can't happen. Um, but luckily, I really liked how we pivoted. One good thing to point out, we put Joseph Nurkic in foul trouble. That was huge for us because it forced Frank Vogel's hand to play smaller because he didn't want him to foul out. And obviously, if you play smaller, AD was eating. He was going to the line. He was putting little buckets in, although it is so frustrating when he does have those gimmies and he misses them, just straight up misses. And he could have had easily, instead of 30, 36 or even 40 based off those little easy buckets. There was such a big dry spell in the fourth where they were literally begging us take the lead and we wouldn't take it, where we were just going back and forth. They were also missing too, turnovers, missing shots. We were also turning over, missing shots, but we just couldn't get anything to drop. And that was really frustrating, but luckily LeBron pushed through, pulled through, and we got the win, man. It feels good to get the win, first win
Yeah,
of the
it
season.
feels good to get our first win, man. At least we didn't start out like last season where we were at 0-7 or 0-8
Yeah,
to start last season, man. We
yeah.
were just like,
Or like
I was
last,
just like bury me right now.
yeah,
All my NBA friends are clowning me. I'm
yeah.
like, just
the last
bury me.
the last two seasons if I'm not mistaken, I think we started at least 0-5. Last season, you're right, we did start like 0-8. It was something way worse, but I
Yeah,
think the season before that too, we started like 0-5. So, which is another, that was basically the point where I was coming from with one of the things I wanted to see us to start winning our first game of the season. That was one of my highlights, but this kind of falls into the same premise of like, let's get
yeah,
our
yeah.
first win
You got the
earlier.
second best.
Yeah.
You got what's next, buddy.
No,
We
it's
got
like
our
let's
second win of the season.
it's like no, no, what I'm saying is like let's get on the winning column earlier in the season.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and get that stride going, and learn and move and improve from here. Um, but yeah, do you have any more thoughts on the game? Once again, if you guys don't know, the final score was Lakers 100, Phoenix Suns 95. So that was that. Also, first time playing against Frank Vogel since uh, he left the Lakers, and we beat him. So that feels good.
hey, nice little fact. I wish we
Yep.
had Frank Vogel back. I'd welcome him
Yes.
back with open arms.
Yes. For those.
He's a coach that should not have been fired.
Yes.
Um, he was
But
fired because he couldn't win games with the Russell Westbrook team, and we had a bunch of
yep.
old
They
guys.
needed a
Yeah,
scapegoat. They
we were
needed a
getting
scapegoat.
guys from retirement homes,
Yeah.
and
Scapegoat. Scapegoat. That's why he got fired.
Frank should still be with us. Yeah, Frank should still
Yeah,
be with
for
us.
those
Yeah,
people out there, we just want to make things clear. Wyatt and I are on the opinion that the Frank Vogel firing was not the right decision. Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
most definitely. But
Yep.
moving on from there and moving on from old news, we can't go back. Frank's not coming back anytime soon.
No, I just wanted to point out first time
Yeah.
seeing him, and we get a win. So it feels good.
Yeah, no, it feels good to get a dub over him. I was actually looking at him during the game on the sideline. He has like hand on his chin. It
Mm-hmm.
reminded me if anybody has seen Winning Time, when the coaches McKinney is going back against the Lakers, when he faced them with the Pacers, I think it was. But it just reminded me of that scene if anybody has seen
Oh
Winning
yeah.
Time. But moving on, we got the
Yeah.
Kings. Yeah, we got the
Kings.
Kings on
Kings.
Sunday, man.
This falls under that category of what we were talking about earlier. It's just one of those must win games. Like this is just, it has to be a win. Like
Hmm.
anything less is unacceptable.
Yeah, we need to
Simply
handle
put.
business. Need to
Yep.
handle business against the Kings. I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to seeing
Do
what we
we
got,
play
man.
away? Do we play at Staples again? Or sorry, Crypto. Do you know?
Let's check it out. I don't know if it's home or away.
I am curious.
I haven't got that far yet.
I believe
I am going to.
here it is. Sunday. We play away. We play
Okay,
away.
okay.
We
So
play in
we're playing
Sacramento.
in Sacramento.
9 p.m.
It's not a long
Eastern.
trip.
9 p.m. Eastern game for us here in Atlanta. 6 p.m. local time. So yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Sunday is our next game. Um, Thoughts on that matchup? Your
Man,
thoughts on that matchup?
Sacramento, I'm really interested to see how our guards hold up against
Mm-hmm.
De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, those two guys over there.
Yeah, this is definitely our first like.
I'm not the biggest Huerter fan.
this
He used to be an
is
Atlanta
definitely our
Hawk.
first. This is definitely our first good little matchup for our guards to really, go against some top guard talent.
Jamal
No,
Murray was a top talent.
no, it was. I mean, in the not threat level, not threat level. Sorry, I actually
Jamal Murray Caldwell Pope better than De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. I say that right now.
Jamal Murray,
They
yes, but
they got a better backcourt.
I definitely would rather have Malik.
Caldwell Pope,
Or sorry,
multi champion. He won multiple championships.
yeah, but not doing what De'Aaron Fox should be
Man,
doing.
don't sleep on Gil. De'Aaron Fox. I'm talking about Malik Monk. I said they
Oh,
had a
you
better
said
I said
Malik
they had a
Monk.
better backcourt.
Okay, Malik Monk over, or you're saying KCP over Malik Monk? Yes,
Yeah, I said they had a better
yes. I
backcourt.
thought you
Yeah.
was talking about. Okay. No, but that's not what I meant. I meant out of the because like remember our first 2 games of the season were our two biggest threats. From here on out, it's everything that we believe should be wins. So this is our first matchup of let's show that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show that we can do that
No, most definitely.
for the
So
guards. Because
yeah,
down low, I'm not worried about Sabonis personally.
I'm not really worried about Sabonis. AD's gonna handle him defensively, or at least I hope he does.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
no telling with AD.
yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
really,
looking forward to what they have down there.
his defensive game is there. Actually, it's his lack of consistency offensively. I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they can both be a little inconsistent, but I'm saying the defensive side of the ball is definitely more consistent with AD than his offensive side. That's my point.
hmm But
Yeah,
no, I think this is a dub. I think this is a win. Um, Sacramento just doesn't stack up with us.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Sunday night matchup. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Trying to go up 2-1, above 500 for the first time this season,
hmm
and continue on that. We just let's get on a little win streak here while we can. Let's go ahead and just build off last game. Let's try to make this game a lot less harder on ourselves, right? Let's talk about one of the points you made. We want to not have that come from behind feeling that we keep
hmm
feeling where it's a stressful win. Let's be in control for at least the majority of the game, if not the entire game. Obviously, going coast to coast from beginning to end is amazing, but sometimes basketball doesn't work out that way. You got to be down sometimes, and that's okay. But let's not have to mount a 12-point, 18-point comeback at one point in the game. That's just, especially against Sacramento Kings. That's just not something I want to see on Sunday.
Nah, for sure. Same here, man.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be disappointed on my Sunday. I'm probably already gonna be disappointed. I'm probably already gonna be disappointed in the Falcons. So I'm not trying to be disappointed with the
Same here.
Lakers
I'm a
too.
Pats fan,
Yeah.
so yeah. I would really like it if we could just, yeah, cruise through that. Cruise through that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Any final thoughts on the Suns matchup and or our upcoming Kings matchup?
No, I think that's a wrap. Thank you everybody for being with us for this recap of the Suns Lakers game. Um, it'd be awesome if you could like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and follow us at Purple Gold Talk _ on all social medias. Just to keep up with us furthermore. Vic, you want to close us out?
Man, no, yep, pretty much same thing. We will see you guys after Sunday's game. I'm gonna upload a little game recap for that as well. And until then, we'll catch you guys later. This was Purple and Gold Talk. Peace out.
See you guys.